welcome back to the channel, and this is the Xiaomi 12S Ultra, the newest and probably the best smartphone the Xiaomi's ever released. And it's all because of this, the massive camera on the back, co-engineered with Leica. And I just gotta say this right now, this thing has been a blast to use. I've been using this for about 3 weeks, and I actually took this with me to my recent trip to New York City to check out the OnePlus 10T, which if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it down below that like button. But yeah, I use this as my go-to phone to take photos all over the city, and let me tell you right now, it's pretty incredible, so let's talk about it. Now, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and notification bell. It's free, and you get to see all of the new videos I have coming up with Techtember and Techtober rolling right around the corner. Expect a ton of videos on the channel, and trust me, you're not gonna want to miss them. Alright, so the Xiaomi 12S Ultra is probably the flagship of all flagships right now. I've checked out a ton of phones this year, and this one's probably my favorite right now just because I'm such a camera nerd. But yeah, the Xiaomi 12S Ultra is packing some serious heat inside. So inside you'll find the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 processor, which actually offers about 10% more performance than the regular Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, and it's supposed to be 30% more efficient as well. Besides that though, it comes with a 4860 mAh battery, which is smaller than what most flagships have, but we'll talk more about its battery life in a bit. And it also packs a 6.7-inch 120Hz AMOLED display that can get super bright at 1500 nits, which is comparable to other flagships like the S22 Ultra, Oppo Find X5 Pro, and OnePlus 10 Pro. Now, this also comes with 256 gigs of storage and 12 gigs of RAM. So on the back of the phone, you of course have the massive camera module, and this is pretty much what we'll be focusing on in this video. The camera quality and what I think smartphones should focus on in the future. But yeah, the 12S Ultra is packing a triple camera setup on the back. You have the 1-inch 50 megapixel main sensor, a 48 megapixel ultra wide, and a 48 megapixel 5x zoom lens. But the one we're really gonna focus on, and that's not a pun, it's that 1-inch 50 megapixel sensor, and we'll talk more about the camera in just a little bit. Alright, so the phone as a whole looks amazing. My review unit is in this somewhat muted pale green color. The back is leather and it feels super soft and grippy and just feels luxurious, if that makes any sense. The sides are aluminum, but this one's got a gold finish to it, which adds a nice contrast to the green leather on the back. And if you're wondering, this does have wireless charging. Now, going back to the front, the display itself looks gorgeous. While I'm not a fan of curved screens, I love the colors and the overall quality of the display. I actually watch a ton of shows on this phone on the go or before going to bed, since this phone's got incredible speakers as well. I think this phone probably has the best speakers I've heard this year, but then again, we have a few more phones coming out in the next few months, but so far, the speakers on this sounds incredible. I've been watching a ton of Naruto on Netflix, and while the show Naruto is available on Netflix here in the US, Naruto Shippuden, which is the continuation of the first Naruto series, isn't available here in the US. And thanks to channel sponsor NordVPN, I can finally watch Naruto Shippuden on Netflix with just a single tap. NordVPN, if you guys didn't know, is the best VPN that I personally use. Basically, I can change my location to Canada or France, for example, and when I launch Netflix, I'll be able to watch Naruto Shippuden on Netflix. Speeds are pretty incredible even using NordVPN, so streaming movies or shows is literally perfect. But what I really like about NordVPN is the fact that they now offer threat protection in macOS or Windows, even if I'm not connected through a VPN server. And what this means is that any website I visit won't be able to track me or have my information. It won't automatically download suspicious files from random websites, and I won't get an absurd amount of ads pop up on websites. Now, if you do want to sign up for NordVPN, make sure to use my link in the description so you can get a huge discount, or go to nordvpn.com/marklinsangan so you can get started. So if you've been wanting to catch up on Naruto Shippuden on Netflix, like what I've been doing these last few weeks, or you just want to feel protected when you're going online, sign up for NordVPN and make sure to use my link in the description so you can take advantage of that amazing deal. Again, huge shout out to NordVPN for sponsoring a portion of this video. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, this is using Qualcomm's newest processor, the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, which is going to give you a little bit more power and still be more efficient than the non-Plus model, so battery life won't take too much of a hit even if you're doing heavy intensive tasks. So after using the Xiaomi 12S Ultra for, I don't know, 3-4 weeks, I can't say nothing but good things about its performance. And I know that every review that you probably watch are saying the same things, but it really is the truth. I haven't had a single issue with the phone, and whether I was playing games on it for an hour, then watch a video or two on YouTube, go on Twitter or Instagram, I just never found the phone to be super slow or even had it lag on me. Now, the phone will get warm, but not too hot to a point where it'll overheat. I've never really had issues with, flagship phones throttling or overheating before, and maybe that's because of the climate where I live, but yeah, I'll admit it, the phone will get warm, especially if you've been playing a game longer than 45 minutes or so. But it doesn't feel hot to a point where it'll burn you, if that makes any sense. Now, batteries also performed really well throughout my testing. I can easily average around 6.5, maybe 7 hours of battery life, and that's just mostly, emails, going on social, watching videos, and playing Asphalt 9, for example. Some days it'll be shorter than that just because I'll have the screen brightness too high or I was playing a game for too long. It all really depends on what you do on your phone, and for me, this is really solid for a flagship in my opinion. Okay, so I'll try to focus mostly on the new 1-inch sensor here just because it's really the only sensor I shot my samples with the occasional telephoto lens, but most of the shots that you'll see on screen is shot using the main wide sensor, that 1-inch sensor, and I'll say it right now, it's the best sensor I've used on a smartphone. Now, I'm a big advocate for iPhone and Pixel phones just because of their cameras, but forget the iPhone, forget the Pixel, forget the S22 Ultra, they're all great cameras, but this is completely different. Now, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to advancement in mobile photography. Instead of focusing on software tricks or AI to improve the photos on a phone, Xiaomi actually helped Sony fund to develop this 1-inch sensor and worked with Leica to improve the lens optics for this phone. And honestly, it worked out. So one of the coolest things about having a larger sensor on a phone is that it'll allow the phone to take in more light, which means you'll get better dynamic range, better image clarity, better low light performance, and probably the thing that most people are going to be excited about is the true natural looking bokeh out of this camera. This is going to allow you to see more natural separation between the subject and the background, which is what software portrait mode's been doing since it became a thing. So most of the shots that you're seeing on screen are shot using the Leica Authentic Picture Profile versus the Leica Vibrant Profile, which kind of exaggerates the highlights and saturation a bit. I prefer the more natural looking, less saturated look from the Authentic Profile. And hopefully you can see from these sample photos that the overall image clarity and I guess the photo compression makes the 12S Ultra look like it's an actual point and shoot camera versus a traditional smartphone camera. It doesn't have that traditional compression or graininess from a phone that I'm used to, and I just really like how the 1-inch camera sensor looks the more I shoot with this phone. Now, the other two lenses are good, the ultra wide and zoom lens, but it's nothing special and not really worth talking about in this video since I think the S22 Ultra is still better in these two departments. But if we're talking strictly the main wide camera, the 12S Ultra just makes me want to keep using my phone and shoot more photos just because of how the photos look, and I can say the same for video here. You'll get more natural looking bokeh from the main wide camera if you're shooting video too, which is really impressive, especially if you're looking to get more separation between your subject and your background. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Xiaomi 12S Ultra. If you're in America and you're looking to purchase or import the 12S Ultra, you may want to see if your cell network supports the phone first. I'm on T-Mobile and service wasn't terrible here in Southern California, but even when I took the phone in New York with me, I had pretty good service with decent upload and download speeds. Now, if you're looking to step up your mobile photography game, this is the way to go. While the phone isn't perfect and some may not like the software it's running, or it doesn't like the massive curved display, the main camera, that 1-inch sensor in my opinion, really is a game changer. Now, we've seen what software and AI can do to photos and how it affects the overall image, but having a completely different sensor, a much bigger sensor, can affect the overall image and how the final photo looks. If you want natural looking bokeh, great low light performance without the need to use night mode, the Xiaomi 12S Ultra, this is it. Anyways, that's been it for this video. If you guys did make it to the end, please consider subscribing. It's free and it helps me make more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next one.